We got Maycee Barber back here on the program, fresh off her win over JJ Aldrich this past Saturday at UFC Nashville. She's actually at the PI right now. Maycee, how are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm here at the PI and getting recovery, and I'm doing great.
Yeah, that's great. So how long are you going to be out there for? I imagine you just went right after the fight.
I did. I flew out last night, so I got here. So far, I've spent all morning, and I'm here till about Saturday, I think.
Okay, that's good. Now, is that just for maintenance and making sure all the bumps and bruises are good, or is that for your weight? What's sort of the main reason you're out there?
No, just recovery. When I did it before the fight, so before I even had the fight over with, I was like, all right, I know that I want to go back home, but I don't want to go back home and then have to come back out.
Yeah.
I talked to the guys at the PI, both for the nutrition, for continuing to rebuild my metabolism, and then also for performance. I had my knee issue a little bit from the last fight, and then just I knew that I'm gonna have bumps and bruises coming out of the fight, and what better place to go and get recovery than the Performance Institute? I mean, they have everything here. So we just made a plan, and we already got my travel scheduled, so I already knew that I was gonna fly from Nashville to Vegas. So yeah.
And I'm sure the main reason is the cafeteria. I hear it's really awesome.
The what's that?
The cafeteria, yeah.
Yeah, I actually had a salad today. I love the salad that they have. So, yeah, I had that for lunch.
Sticking with diet nutrition, how was it, just cutting weight for this fight, not having those extra 10 pounds, in your flyweight debut in the UFC?
It was great. I mean, the cut was great. The rehydration was great. I did. I used the Performance Institute again for the cut and to help me out with that. So I couldn't have asked for a better cut. It was good.
How did you feel in there? Because, it's a lot different. I know, people think it's just 10 pounds, but I'm sure when you got in there, you probably felt a lot different than you did at strawweight.
I felt stronger, for sure. All through camp, I felt way stronger. So just the power difference. And then also the recovery, as soon as, obviously fight week was not fantastic. Anytime you have a cut, it's never fun. But once I got carbs back in me and then I was ready to perform, I felt fantastic. It was amazing.
Let's talk about the fight. First round, I know, probably wasn't ideal for you. Took a few shots here and there. Was there ever a point in the first round where you were worried at all, or are you just like, oh, I got to get going here?
No, I didn't get, emotionally, like, I didn't feel that. And maybe someday I will. Maybe I'll feel like, oh, wow, I'm down around. I really need to get going. But to me, I feel like I need to get going anyway. So, like, I always feel like I need to go for a finish, or I always need to, I always try for that. So I don't feel like I was not trying for that. I just didn't start as fast as I should have, and I didn't. I don't know. Maybe it just didn't click, or maybe it was just time for me to feel her out for that round.
Right.
But definitely didn't go my way. I got close a little bit, but I didn't feel when I got back to the corner like, oh crap, we got to fix this. Like, I did look over at Dana and I told him, I'm like, I'll fix this.
Okay.
Because I knew that I was down that round, but it wasn't like a negative feeling towards me because I knew that I would fix the next round.
Plus, like, the second round's your round, right? That's when you finish Hannah and then this fight as well. And we got to talk about that sequence at the end. I mean, that looked like something out of a video game. You just were teeing off on her. Were you worried at all the ref wasn't going to stop it? Because you landed some really hard shots, and I know he stepped in, but, it looked like you were hitting her pretty good.
Yeah, I was hitting her pretty hard, and I knew he was going to stop. It's just a matter of time. And, those were hard shots, and especially that last one where I doubled up that hand and then threw the knee. Even though the knee didn't land, I mean, all those shots and then those continuous, I think it was my right hand, I just kept hitting her with it.
Yeah.
I knew it was over as soon as I landed that cross, but we called it. My coaches called it. They're like, second round, you're going to get this finish. And it was second round.
That's excellent. Was there anything about her that surprised you in the fight?
No, I mean, a lot of that, what surprised me the most was the fact that I thought the entire fight I was going to fight it in a southpaw stance. I was the entire camp, the entire training, all in my mind. Every time I fought that fight, it was from southpaw. And I don't know, for some reason, through camp, my orthodox didn't feel comfortable. And in the fight, it just felt way more comfortable. That felt like home compared to the southpaw, and that's where it clicked. That's where I was like, all right, this is over.
Okay. Now, how did you celebrate after the fight? I know you're always with your family. I assume you guys just went out and had some nice dinner or anything like that?
Yeah, well, after the fight, I had to stick around, and then I got to do the ESPN Plus, the up at the desk.
Oh,
So,
nice. Okay.
mhm. So I was at the arena until probably 11, I want to say. So I was there pretty late, and then by the time we got back, the only place that was open was this little restaurant near, like, it was like a half a mile from the hotel. And our hotel was like 40 minutes from Nashville. So we didn't really plan it out very well to where we went out to eat in Nashville because we're in Franklin. So it's quite a ways away, and there's not many places open. So we went to the closest place and just got to see everyone, see family, see some friends from Colorado, hang out with them a little bit. And then I just stayed up because my coaches were like, oh, my flight leaves at 4, my flight leaves at 6, my flight leaves at this time. And I had a close family friend that stayed there as well. And so I talked with each person, and I just ended up staying up all night until I organized my stuff and got ready to pack up and fly out to Vegas. So I stayed up all night. So I didn't stay up and party. I just like stayed up and talked and analyzed and went back and like relived the moment and enjoyed the moment and then packed up my stuff.
I was going to say that's a good friend and teammate right there too, seeing your coaches and all that stuff. Did you see Chris Gutierrez at all? I mean, he won earlier in the night.
I did. We spent the entire week. So we spent all of 5 weeks together. We did the cuts at the same time. He even went and got a pedicure with me.
There you go.
So Chris, he went and got a pedicure with me. But yeah, we were in the back. We got to, stand there as each other walked out. It was really cool. And I'm glad that I had someone else who was going through that with me because it's good energy. We were able to bounce off each other's energy, and it was a lot of fun. And I mean, that fight that he had, it was smooth. I was like in the back. I was in the green room watching, and I just remember being like, wow, that was really good. I was like, man, he makes it look like he is in a video game,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm sure it was a nice boost, seeing that heading into your fight as well when your teammates performing really well too, which is awesome. Now you referenced getting to do some work, on the desk and all that stuff, and I know after you and I talked in Vegas, I saw you did that promo for that like movie or whatever they had you doing that. I mean, they're not doing that with every fighter. Are you getting used to that stuff now that the UFC is really putting you in the forefront and kind of highlighting you?
I am. I'm getting used to it, and I'm growing in a lot of those areas. There's a lot of things that need to be improved on, not just with fighting, but with the social media, with everything. So the fact that they're giving me the opportunity to work on that, because, it's not just it's something that you can just be perfect at right away. So the fact that they're helping me and allowing me to take some of those opportunities is really good.
What was the feedback? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just thinking about this. I just had someone ask me earlier. They're like, do you feel like that's a lot? Like, it doesn't bother you that you do a lot of interviews? And to me, I feel like it helps me mentally process a lot of what I'm going through, because I don't talk to a lot of people. I don't talk to a lot of people. So this is kind of like my way to talk to a lot of people, is doing interviews. So I actually enjoy them because it helps me with my thoughts and my analyzing of things. Mm-hmm. So I enjoy it.
That's great. Did you talk to the UFC after the fight? Did Dana or anyone say anything to you about the performance?
I did. Dana said that was a heck of a performance. I talked to him a few times. He said it was a tough first round. He said the fact that I was able to come back and finish like that, he said it's not something that people do. So I feel like he was pretty impressed, and I'm just glad that I could impress him, because I did. I told him in between the rounds, I was like, I'll fix this. And then after the fight, when I told him, I'm like, I told you I'd fix this, right? And he's like, you sure did. So that's cool.
That's awesome. What about the fans? Did you notice the social media numbers jump up at all, just from seeing you fight? Because, again, that finish, I saw it circulating, quite a bit on social media.
It did. I think I went from like 50-ish thousand to like 70-something thousand right now.
Oh, no big deal. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'm building.
Yeah.
I'm happy, and that definitely helps as well. The more social media, then I always kind of laugh, at like doing live videos. I'm like, oh man, I don't have enough followers to do that, but I think I'll probably start doing some more of those, or doing some of those, because it's fun, and you get to answer questions, kind of like an interview, and the more social media followers that I have, the more I'll be more inclined to do that. So
yeah. I was gonna say you've come a long way since I remember you went on that like Instagram or Twitter blackout for a little period. Remember before you got in the UFC, so it's the game stepped up for sure.
Yeah, I'll still do that at some point. I've already taken notes of what I want to improve and change in camps, and certain things are gonna continue to change, but my social media is something that I'm not gonna have to. I'm gonna continue to have to stay pretty relevant in that area, but it's for the better. I think it's good.
So you're at the PI until Saturday, and I imagine you're relatively healthy coming out of this one. Do you have an idea of when you're looking to fight again? Do you have? I think it was International Fight Week you were talking about potentially when we talked pre-fight.
Yeah, we're talking about still. I'm still hoping for that International Fight Week. You know, that gives me I think like 14 weeks. So maybe like a week here, and then a week at home, and then figuring out a plan and getting another camp set up. But yeah, I'm healthy coming out of this fight for the most part. Couple bumps and bruises, but we're getting those figured out. But yeah.
Well, and I'm sure, for the next fight too, you'll get lots of notice. And I know you've actually moved to Milwaukee now, and I know you do your camps at Rufus Sport and Factory X. Is that the plan to continue going forward, to split camp with both those camps, or is it just, just pick whatever's best in terms of the opponent?
I'm not sure. I moved to Wisconsin with my family, and the main reason for moving out was to go to just to find some wrestling. I know that Izzy's in Chicago, so being able to work with him. Obviously, when I was dealing with my knee injury, I wasn't able to do that. So I mainly just spent some time with my family out in Wisconsin. But as soon as I got a fight, I did my camp. I started with Matt Pena. I went out and visited him a little bit and worked on some of my hands. But I went to my head coach, Mark Montoya, at Factory X, and I did my camp there. And I've been talking about it. I talked to Izzy as well. For this next fight, as soon as I have another fight, I'll be doing camps with Mark, Izzy, and Matt for sure. Now, I don't know about splitting time. We'll see,
Any opponent you're looking at next? I know you're not the type to call people out, but is there you just sort of see what the UFC has in store?
It's not that I'm not needing to call people out, but I just know the UFC has a plan, so I want to go with what they have first, rather than being like, hey, I want to fight this person, this person, this person. I'd rather work with them and kind of do it together. So talk with my team, talk with the UFC. We'll coordinate a plan together, and then we'll pick an opponent out. But yeah, what they have is what they want is also what I want. So we'll figure it together.
Now, because this fight's over with and you get a little bit of downtime, are you going to get back to the painting? I know that was something you were doing before you got in the UFC and doing the artwork, or is that completely off the table at this point?
Maybe here and there, for fun, but honestly, I was just talking to some of the people out here. I was like, a lot of fighters are like, yes, after their fight, they're like, I want to take a break. I want to go on a vacation. And I'm like, can we do a workout here? And they're like, no, you need a day off. Don't work out. You don't need a workout. I just want to keep it going. If you're on a roll and if it's not broken, don't change it. Right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Well, I don't need to change anything. If I just keep training, if I just keep going, but yeah, maybe some painting here and there if my siblings want to do something. But I'd rather just get back to the gym.
Actually, one more thing I wanted to ask you before we go. I heard on the broadcast they mentioned your brother wanting to compete in the UFC at some point. Is there any headway on that? I didn't even realize. Was that the same brother I met when we were in Vegas doing that interview?
Yeah. So sorry, my headphones died on me.
Oh, don't worry.
He's 17. He'll be 18 in May. So May 9th is his birthday. My 18th is my birthday, so we're like 9 days apart. But he turns 18 in May, and he wants to do his LFA debut.
Nice.
So once he fights in LFA, we're hoping to get him on the same kind of path that I did. Fight a couple times in LFA, a few times, and then maybe do contender series, and then hopefully go from there. But again, he hasn't even fought amateur yet, so he definitely has to fight once, fight sometimes, Yeah. Because until you do it, you don't know what you like and what you don't like. And I know that he's going to do great at whatever he does, but I'm definitely excited and nervous to see him fight, as I would anyone else, that's my siblings. But I'm excited to see him get a fight. But yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's interesting.
His career and continue with it. I would love to be the brother sister in the UFC. That'd be great.
Well, Maycee, congratulations on the win. That was a great performance. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or thank yous or anything like that, the floor is yours.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously my name, Maycee Barber, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of the above. And then as far as sponsors go, I have so many people behind me. Method Flow, so Matt Beeman's close family friend. So much support coming from those guys. And then just everyone, I have, gosh, there's too many to list off, but that one that I just named off is probably one of the most special to me in terms of family people. So I'm just gonna give a shout out to them because they made everything in this camp possible.